Alright, so the cooling measures just happened like a couple weeks ago, and today we just want to talk about three of the main repercussions we think is going to affect the property market. So we're going to drop a few very interesting fun facts, so stay tuned. But first, we want to talk about the drop of $1 million HDB.
Yes.
Now, just now when we were talking, we identified some very interesting numbers you were sharing
Fun
me.
facts.
Fun facts about $1 million HDB.
Yes.
So what do you say?
Okay,
just now?
so in the year 2020, right?
2020 is 2 years ago.
Yeah, that we have about 80 over transactions for $1 million HDB.
Okay, so let me just clarify. The whole of year 2020, 2
Yes.
years ago, the whole year got $80
Over
million HDB transaction.
Yes.
And then
And last year,
last year was 2021.
we had 3 times more.
Last year was 2021, right?
2021. We had 3 times more.
So last, how many?
8 times 3 is what?
I don't know.
So it's like...
How many?
We have
What
about
is-
260 units
So
last year.
so last year we had 260 $1 million HDB transaction.
Yes.
So what's the fun fact you want to drop?
The fun fact is that the first 9 months of this year,
The first 9 months of this year?
we have already transacted more than the entire of last year's 260 units.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we are seeing a lot more $1 million HDB transaction.
Yes, and I think that is the real reason why the government have made this move to make sure that
Yeah.
there's no like heated up demand from
For-
the private property downgraders to HDB market,
Yes.
right? Where they snap up units, especially the bigger room types.
The 5-room jumbo,
5-room jumbo, the
executive.
EA, the
yeah.
EMs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That they will pay exorbitant COV
Yeah,
just because they made a profit from their private properties. Because
Yes.
the property market went up, remember?
So
Yeah.
that's the next interesting thing that we have. So we talk about the $1 million HDB volume potentially
Yes.
dropping. Okay, so the next one we also realize is that when private property price increase,
Yeah.
people tend to downgrade,
Yes.
right? Very
Yes.
popular move.
It's a very popular move.
Yeah.
I think that's one move that they want to be prudent because they're going to fully pay up
Yeah.
the HDB that they're going to stay in.
Yep.
And because of that,
Yep.
with their profits
Yep.
in mind that they have made from their private properties,
Yep.
they feel that it is okay to pay the price since I'm going to fully pay and stay there until I die.
Yeah, and since they made a lot of money anyway.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
So that,
coming from a landed,
yeah.
imagine you sell a landed for 8 million
Okay.
and then you go and pay a $1 million HDB.
Okay.
You still have a lot of money to spend for retirement.
Yeah, of course, but that's only one handful of people.
It's
lah.
one handful
It's
of people.
Definitely not everybody selling at 8 million and
Okay,
even down. Not
okay,
everybody, but bear in mind that there's this group of people, right,
Yeah.
who tend to feel that hey, I should downgrade to HDB and fully pay and be
yeah.
debt free and
Yeah.
that's it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Personal question. Would you eventually, like let's say you retire, you're old and stuff, would you?
No,
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
So you want to stay condo, landed or HDB? When you're old, and,
I think having a garden is quite nice.
so you want to have a garden. You perpetually want to have a garden.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. You can do some gardening. You
And
can
have chickens.
walk your dogs and you can have chickens.
Okay. Okay. Even though you know that at the end of the day you cannot bring that with you.
I know,
You
definitely.
still wanna-
I know, definitely.
Okay, so yeah, it's a very interesting phenomenon that
Right.
we discovered is that when private property price go up, people tend to downgrade lah.
Yeah.
So that's the cooling measure, right?
Yeah.
And they want to stop people from prevent people from overheating the HDB market, the downgraders especially.
Yes.
Okay,
So we potentially see a drop in $1 million home transaction volume.
transaction volume,
Potentially,
Potentially,
we may see a drop.
Okay, just for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we cannot say for certain, but what do you
Yeah.
think next year $1 million HDB transaction volume is going to be? Think below 100?
Maybe below 200 units.
Below 200?
Yeah.
Okay. So as of now, we already surpassed last year.
Which is more than 260. lah.
More than 260.
Yeah.
Okay. So next year will be lesser.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the prediction.
Yeah.
Like magic. Okay. So we also want to talk about interest rate.
Of course.
So TDSR, total debt
Yes.
servicing ratio.
Yes.
This time round they didn't tweak the major one, which is
Okay, so the
haircut.
fun
Yeah.
fact, talking
Yeah.
about TDSR,
Yeah,
the fun
TDSR.
fact, right,
Yeah.
is that past 12 months,
Yeah. Past 12 months.
we already seen 3 major regulation change
Okay,
So this policy change, right,
Yeah.
is nothing new. We are already immune to changes.
it's not changes. It's just tightening.
Just tweaking.
Yeah, tweaking.
just a tweaking. But
Yeah.
but more importantly, right,
Yeah.
reducing the LTV,
Yeah.
increasing the interest rate
Yeah.
to reflect your TDSR, you know, for calculation purpose. That is like very normal, which I've said in many years ago during my seminar as well.
Okay.
These are all policies that is going to change, and even if you tell me next month is going to change the interest rate
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because now they changed to 4%. Imagine this, they
Yeah.
changed to 4%, but now the current interest rate at fixed rate
3.8.
probably at 3.85.
It's 3.85.
Already very close to 4%. So in
Exactly.
order to be even more prudent,
Yeah.
they probably want to set another 0.5% to 4.5%.
Exactly. So I mean, they have to do that
Yeah.
because you know why? Because they have to make headlines, what? so
mean-
it's like next month we tweak the TDSR again. Then next month we tweak the TDSR again. But yeah, I mean they have to do it because interest rate is going up so fast.
Yeah, I mean we have to adapt to changes, right? And because the government is paying very close attention
Yeah.
to make sure that there's prudence in the
Yeah.
borrowers out there.
Correct.
So
Correct.
because this will affect their monthly mortgage.
Exactly.
So obviously they have to be prudent on this.
I mean, let me tell you wait. My personal story.
Okay.
Like this house,
Yeah,
the interest rate is crazy. Do you know it's so crazy?
I don't know.
Like when I bought this house, right, my interest rate was 1%.
Okay.
And right now it's 3.85%.
Do you know when is the highest interest rate?
Oh, we talked about
Since we don't know about many years ago, but
Yeah.
since our lifetime.
our lifetime.
Yes, so I'm 44, you're 34, right?
34, that's right.
Since our lifetime, do you
Yes.
know what is the highest interest rate ever?
Yes, I know.
When?
It's double digit. In the 1980s, the year I was born, interest rate was 10%.
Around there, yeah.
About 10%.
Yes.
No wonder people, I mean, my parents bought HDB. Your parents?
Same.
HDB?
Same.
I mean, if they had bought private,
Maybe we are not around.
maybe we were not around. no money to buy milk powder. Oh, and what you're saying? This is the 9-year anniversary.
9-year anniversary for the
TDSR.
right? So we are not going to talk about TDSR. It's
Yep.
already been there so many years.
Yep,
Everybody
yep.
knows about
Old
it.
news, old
But
news.
what's more important is the tweaking of the LTV as
Yep.
well as the interest rate that is
Yep.
used to calculate for your TDSR. I think that can always change.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think even if you ask my personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
Although I'm not the government,
Yeah.
I feel it should be 4.5%.
You feel it should be 4.5%?
I feel so because
Why not 5?
you know why? Because back then in the year maybe 2008,
Uh-huh.
when before the first regulation came out, right? 2009, right?
Yeah.
So the 2008 was the time where you still have 90% loan.
Okay.
So back then 90%
Oh,
loan
yes.
was granted at an interest rate of 4.5%.
90% loan.
Yes, and 80% loan was at 3.5%, 90% loan was at 4.5%.
Wow, 90% loan.
Yeah,
So you only pay down payment 10%.
yeah,
What's the stamp duty? 3% also?
yeah, 3%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
13% is all you need.
Yeah.
Now you need 1/4.
Yeah,
25
and remember
plus
back then when you buy, right,
Yeah.
because it's deferred, right,
Yeah.
you don't even need to take a loan. So they won't know your affordability. Like for example, if you have $1 million cash,
Yeah.
you can buy 10 $1 million property and nobody will know.
Oh, because there
Because
was
you
no
can put 100,000 down for all the...
wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's the thing that attracts speculation.
Was that ABSD back then?
No. Back then, attract speculation because
Oh.
there's no way they can monitor this, right?
That's right.
So
that's right.
now that you need to pay a certain down payment and you
Yeah.
need to secure the loan first
That's right,
in
that's
order
right.
for you to utilize your CPF.
That's
right?
correct, yeah.
That prevents you from overbuying, or maybe they wouldn't know how much you have.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
obviously now with ABSD in place, you can't
right.
buy so many, right?
That's right.
Unless you have money
And,
to burn.
and that's exactly what makes Singapore a very attractive place for investment, right? And own
Yeah.
a property. Because
Yes.
it's not bubble.
But you see, investment is a word that a lot of people fear.
Fear?
Yeah,
People
investment-
fear the word
fear
investment.
because when you link investment, you link it to risk.
Uh-huh.
Because all investment do carry.
Risk?
Yeah. So when you think of investment, you think of risk, right? But the funny thing is that
Uh-huh.
after so many rounds of regulations, right?
Yeah.
and for the past 3 years when we are dealing with COVID situation, right?
Yep.
You can see that most of the buyers out there are actually Singaporeans. 80% are Singaporeans.
Well, it has to be what? Because foreigners have this restriction, right?
No, there's not a restriction. It's a
Deterrence.
deterrent.
Yeah,
Deterrent.
okay. It's not like they cannot.
They cannot,
If they
no.
pay, they still can.
They still can.
Yeah.
So this is something very interesting about Singapore real estate market.
But can I ask you, right? Like personal question. Like,
Yeah.
I always look at myself. I mean, I don't know about you, but I love to stay invested. I have to stay invested. I tell you a very strange thing about me. I don't like to see money in the bank. Because when I see money in the bank, I feel like the money is not working. What about you?
I feel you have a very good life because you don't like to see money in the bank.
I want
Whereas
it- I want it to
I
be
don't even have a
invested.
chance to see money in the bank. That's the difference.
Because you keep mobile.
I don't see money in the bank at all.
No, but don't you think? Because it's like you don't play computer games.
I never.
You never play computer games. Like you use the money to go and buy this, buy that, upgrade your character, then you can complete more quests, this and that.
No.
Then do you believe in investment?
I believe in staying invested,
Yeah,
okay, so that you can hedge against inflation.
yeah,
And I think to personally save up to
Yeah.
buy a house, right?
yeah.
It is so tough. Have you ever saved money to buy a property?
Save money to buy a property.
Yes, and you realize by the
Yeah.
time you save,
The property price increase.
Not only property price increase, but inflation hits you so hard that
Your money is not.
your
Yeah.
value of money is no longer even worth that amount anymore.
Oh yes, of course.
And you know, there's this very famous Thai commercial, right?
Yeah.
Talking about a little boy wanting to be an astronaut and they
Oh, I
want to
didn't
buy a
see that.
spaceship.
Want to
Something
buy a
like that. I
spaceship,
cannot
okay.
remember,
And then,
but
yeah.
it's something about that. You know, he saved up dollar by dollar by skipping meals,
Uh-huh.
by not playing arcade with his friends,
To
and
want to
every-
buy a spaceship.
to buy a spaceship, you know, just a toy, you know, then, you know.
A toy?
Yeah, every day he's having nightmare that, you know, not having nightmare, sorry, having a dream of wanting to own it, right?
Okay.
That he's saving every single dollar every day, right?
Okay.
Running from all the temptations of the food,
Okay.
the ice cream, the
Okay.
enjoyment, the toys and
Uh-huh,
everything,
uh-huh.
right? But when he finally saved the amount,
The price of the spaceship went up.
yeah, exactly. So this is exactly what I feel is so
Relatable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, do you know, right? Back then, when I was a very young agent, I think one bedroom or 400,000 can buy already.
Yeah.
Correct or not?
Yeah.
You experienced that too, right? What's the cheapest one bedroom you ever seen?
300 over thousand, no? And it's not far from
300 over
recent.
thousand?
No, it's not far from recent
Not
years.
treasures,
No,
Then?
300 over thousand is the high park.
Oh, yeah, High Park.
Yes,
High Park, yes.
yes, that was like
Yeah, yeah.
during the launch,
Yeah, yeah.
1,000 over units were
Correct.
so
No, I'm talking about freehold.
freehold.
400,000 was the cheapest I've ever seen.
Okay, I mean yes,
You've seen?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If you have seen, definitely I've seen, right?
Okay, like, maybe you're sleeping. That's very good. Okay, did we cover this? So interest rate, we talk about it, right?
Right.
Like, I think it's good. It's good that
No, but people tend to get lesser amount to borrow, right?
Yeah.
Which is what makes it very prudent.
yep.
So I think let's not overstretch ourselves. So
Yeah.
the first thing you will see, the phenomenon you will see
Yeah,
today is that
yeah.
obviously people will be more careful.
Yep.
And I think one of the beauty about current situation we are in, right,
Yep.
is that there's still a segment out there
Uh,
which I feel
yep.
potentially can still make a very good capital upside.
Are you talking about EC?
Hey, how you know?
Confirm lah. This year, there's nothing to look forward to. There's only EC.
Okay, so you can see
Yeah.
right now all the new launches, right,
That's
is crossing $2,000 over per square foot, right?
That is correct.
Which is the norm.
Yep.
Okay, but on the other hand, right, I think there's a undervalued proposition
Okay.
out there, which is
Okay.
the EC segment.
That's correct.
And I mean, you can easily find around 1,003 plus minus,
Yep.
okay, around that range of per square foot, right? A decent, good units,
1,300 PSF.
plus minus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
EC is always safe.
No, it's not always safe.
Yeah, huh?
Let me give you an example why I say it's not always safe.
Tell me.
Okay, so just maybe like a few years ago,
Okay.
and not very long, the price of an EC, right,
Yep.
is around $1,000. And the outside central region launches, right, back then 3 years or 4 years ago, right,
Yep.
was around $1,200 to $1,003.
Okay.
So the difference is 20 to 30%.
So you might as well buy private.
So some people they who can afford,
Yep.
they don't mind to stretch a bit to buy the private.
Technically, you can afford more when you buy private.
Correct, because one is using the
Yeah,
MSR,
yep.
the other one is using TDSR, right?
Yep.
So you're right, but
Yep.
you see that little bit of stretch, people don't feel stressed,
Okay.
okay? Because
Okay.
like what you say, they can buy double, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So technically, people don't feel that stretch.
Yep.
But now
Yep.
people can see the gap,
Yep.
and the gap is so wide that
Yep.
you can obviously tell a 2,000 over per square foot versus a 1,003. It's like already 40 over percent. If you calculate based on just the
Fair.
price gap.
Fair.
Yeah, and
So I do get that EC is very safe and has a unprecedented track record.
Yes.
Like we have said in the last video,
Yeah.
we have never once seen an EC
oh, did
that
anybody comment?
no leh. I don't think so lah. I mean, even if we don't know of, unless you divorce or something bad happen, then you urgently need to sell. But even you urgently need to sell, you sell at the price that you bought from the developer, you definitely can sell for sure, right? So, with that being said, right, I mean, we know that EC is safe. Let me ask you a question, just out of curiosity. So you say that moving forward, all the private at $2,000 per square feet or more there's a gap. So my question to you is, do you think that if you were to buy a private, the upcoming private at 2,000 plus PSF, do you think you still can make money?
In a slightly longer run, yes.
Slightly longer run.
Yes.
Yes. Eventually, like.
Yes, but there's a fun fact again. For
Oh,
you.
yes?
Yeah, the fun fact is that the average price range of a private resale
Okay.
is very similar of that of a
Easy.
new EC.
Ah,
Very similar.
very
Means
similar.
Their range. That means all resale condo, right?
All
out there
resale
is
condo.
about 1,003 plus minus.
Yup, yup,
Similar to the price of an EC.
Okay.
So for this to happen, right,
Yup.
means there's room for them to catch up
Who's
because
the them?
this group of people,
This
whether it's
EC,
resale, whether it's
ah,
resale,
okay,
whether
okay.
it's EC,
Okay.
there's still a good decent
Okay.
potential.
Okay. Fair point. Okay. So, what else are we going? We're going to talk about how. Oh, we also realized something, right? That transaction volume has dropped drastically,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So transaction volume is about 10,000 less than last year, approximately.
Based on our predictions.
Okay, because
Because,
this
okay,
year has ended.
last
Yeah.
year the transaction volume was about 37,000.
So 37,000 private transaction the whole of 2021, right?
Yeah.
And now we're at
I would say we will probably hit
yep
more than 25,000 at the end of the year.
more than 25,000. So transaction volume has dropped.
Yeah.
But a very interesting phenomenon is that price didn't drop.
Yeah.
In fact, price cannot drop.
Okay, so there are many reasons.
Many reasons.
Okay, so first of all, right,
Yeah.
I think construction costs went up,
Yep.
the land costs went up,
Definitely.
yeah, and there's a huge delay for BTO
Yep.
as well as the private properties that's yet to TOP, right?
Correct.
Or yet to so-called complete their construction.
Yep.
So because of this, right,
Yeah.
there are people going around to rent properties.
Oh.
And last year,
Yeah.
we have seen like a record-breaking transaction volume
Yeah.
of rental market out there. And another fun fact for you,
Yeah.
last year's transaction volume
Uh,
alone,
for rental.
yes,
Uh-huh.
a year-to-year comparison to 10 years ago
Okay.
was doubled,
So 10 years ago,
was about 45,000.
45,000 the whole year
The
rental.
whole year transaction volume.
And last year,
last year was more than 90,000.
more than 90,000 rental transacted in the whole
Transactions,
last year.
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought we briefly did talk about, right? So, what are some of the factors contributing to the increase of demand for rental?
So the delay in
delay for construction.
And
people,
there are a group of people during the personally, right?
Yep.
I feel I'm one of the affected ones.
affected ones.
Yes, because you see, when we have COVID situation,
Yep.
a lot of children, I have 4 boys, so a lot
Yep.
of children need
Yep.
home-based learning,
Yep.
where they need a personal space, right, which is like a room for them to Zoom, right?
Yep.
And for me, I need to do seminars.
Yep.
So with all the property seminars that we do day in, day out, every day,
Yep.
there's a lot of things that we are fighting for airspace within the house.
Are you serious?
Yes, and because of that, I have to move.
Are
to-
you serious?
I
Even in Bedok Court?
Yeah, I moved to a landed.
No, but Bedok Court was so big.
But there's only 3 rooms.
Really?
No matter how big is the space of the living room size that's big, the maybe the balcony
Oh.
space is big, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
room
yeah.
space
Yeah,
is
yeah,
big,
yeah.
but it doesn't mean you have more rooms, right?
That's right. That's right.
So
That's
because
right.
when you do Zoom, right,
Yeah.
or especially when you need to talk,
Yeah.
then obviously you will disturb the rest of the participants from home-based learning and all, right?
Know what? They can learn from what you're sharing.
But we have different classes, you see.
Oh, doesn't matter lah.
Yeah.
They
So
just learn
anyway,
first.
anyway, there are people out there
Yeah.
who moved during COVID, and there's a lot of people who moved during COVID, which
Yeah.
I told you during the rental transactions.
That's right. That's
You
right.
can see, you can tell
Yeah.
that it's a lot of volume, right?
That's right. That's right.
So obviously, a lot of people are affected.
Okay. Well, this is a
Yeah.
real thing.
It's a bo pian thing, you know. The bo pian means they
Yeah,
really got no choice.
Yeah.
They have to move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that also contributed to rental
yeah,
going up.
yeah.
So with rental going up,
Mm.
price remaining strong or
Yeah.
potentially going up and volume coming down,
Mm.
all this is really like I think we said just now, really to the cooling measures.
Yeah.
Because the cooling measures kept the market regulated in this regard.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Just do a recall. Okay, the LTV dropped
Yep.
in December last year.
Yep.
Okay, from
80 to 75.
90 to 85. Okay, for
Last year?
HDB.
Oh, yeah, for HDB. Okay,
Yes,
for HDB. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then of course the TDSR dropped
Yep.
from the 60% to 55%.
Yep.
The ABST increased, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then subsequently in May this year,
Yep.
when we are about to launch a Piccadilly Grand,
Yep.
then the trust thing came up.
Trusting. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to pay the 35%
Upfront,
upfront,
okay.
then you can
Get
get
it
a
back.
refund 3 months later.
That's correct. That's
yeah,
correct.
and of course there's no hanky-panky within the trust deed itself.
Yep.
So everything must be transparent.
Yep.
That it has to be immediate beneficiary and all.
Yep.
So with all these changes and the recent one as of last week, right,
Yep.
to deter people from heating up the HDB market,
That's right.
and also to be prudent in the borrowing based on the interest rate.
Mm.
So you can see that the government is monitoring so closely, like that. I always ask people this question. I say, when can you ever see one day Straits Times or Business Times or CNA did not mention anything about real estate?
They always do.
They have to,
Yeah.
because there's nothing else to report.
Yep.
So this is something very important that everybody needs to know, that we are very close to heart of real estate.
Yep.
Yeah, and everything is related to real estate.
Yep.
So be your rental lah, so be your business lah,
Yep.
your logistic lah, where you
Correct.
have warehousing lah,
Correct.
every time you order, some people need to send something to you, right? Where
Yep.
do they house this inventory?
Yep.
Yeah, obviously everything is back to real estate.
Yeah. So it's tied to rental prices,
Yeah, it's
the
tied-
cost,
Yeah.
and that's how they determine how they're going to charge you, profit margins and all.
Yes.
Yep. That's
So
very interesting.
yeah, so you can imagine, right?
Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much all, right? we talk about the HDB volume, we talk about interest rate, talk about borrowing, talk about stress test,
Yeah.
and rental going up. Okay, so what do you? Okay, so now we've covered the repercussions, right? So what do you think is going to be what can we look forward to down the road next? Maybe at last quarter of this year, we talk about EC.
Mm-hmm.
EC, right?
Yeah.
Anything else?
There's two upcoming EC, right?
Yeah.
So
Tengah,
one is the Tengah
and Tampines.
Copen Grand,
Yeah.
and then the other one is in Tampines, the Tenet. So yeah, so these are the
I don't-
two.
how do you pronounce it?
Okay, there's basically 2 pronunciation.
Okay.
One is Tenet.
Tenet.
Okay, the other one is Tenet.
Tenet.
So
okay.
I mean, whichever you prefer, lah.
Whichever,
but
as long as you got
basically,
make money lah.
Yeah. As long as you stay
As long as-
invested.
As long as you stay there, then make money.
As long
Okay.
as you stay invested and you make money.
Okay,
And we
okay.
are happy for you.
Okay.
Yeah, but these are the upcoming pipelines for the EC, and it's gonna happen real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last quarter of this year, right? As if you are happen to be one of the fortunate category to be able to buy an EC, we would really highly recommend you to do your homework and check out the track records and know that EC is really one of the best moves you can make in the last quarter of this year.
Yes. In fact, they can check out your previous video.
Yeah, we did talk about ECs as well.
Yeah.
And we did those. I did talk to Vincent about resale levy as well. Crazy, right? Resale levy was like 250,000. Actually, after the video, he showed me the exact figure. It wasn't 250,000.
It was?
290,000.
Wow.
That is so crazy. It happened during your era as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
2006, before 2006.
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
the fun fact is that all this levy, right? I mean, to be like very candid
Yeah.
about this, right?
Yeah,
Why would anybody pay?
yeah,
They usually like to,
Yeah.
in the event they buy, then they pay, right?
Correct.
But by the time they realize that, hey, why not? I
Yeah.
want to buy an EC. For
Correct.
example, in Vincent's case,
yeah,
maybe he said, okay, I want to buy an EC.
yep.
Then today he got to pay 300,000. You think he will do it? Obviously
He
you know,
wrote in,
Yeah,
he
I mean
wrote
he
in,
wrote in.
yeah.
Whether or not you can get it done
Yeah.
is separate story.
That's
but
correct, yeah.
we always want to share our views about what you should do.
Yep.
And once again, I always like to highlight whether or not you want to stay invested. To me,
Yeah.
in another perspective, right, is that you have to stay invested. But you see, today you tell, like I always say, if you say investment, right, people think it's risky, right?
Yeah.
But you think about it, if you're not invested,
Yo,
what is your risk?
It's
You're
actually
gonna be, firstly,
regret.
no, not regrets,
Huh?
You're gonna be priced out.
Yeah, price of regret lah.
You may
don't
not regret.
man.
No, you may not regret.
You don't regret.
Some people, they will just die because of their ego. They are not regretting.
But that's what they say lah. Maybe
They
we
say
at the
life
back.
got no regrets. I'm not going to look back. Okay, so but never mind. You may be priced out. That's first thing.
Yep.
Okay, so next thing is that you may find a lot more challenging to save up
Yep.
for the similar product that you may be looking at.
It's like the advertisement, right? You save and save and save. By the time you got the money, and then you see the price is already something you cannot afford.
I love the advertisement.
I need to go and look for it.
It's very easy to find. I can send you the link.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can put the link in the description as well. Okay, is there anything else?
Well,
Look forward to the EC, and we're gonna be.
I think what's more important is that people actually view our videos, right, and find value add in it.
For sure.
And when you do, right, maybe just help us to comment, or share, or more importantly, ask questions so that we can do the next video to benefit you.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
So we always look forward to questions and feedbacks from the people who are watching the video.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yep.
That's all?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for this video. We'll see you in the next one, and just stay tuned and subscribe.